In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to filter data in Google Sheets step by step, so you can quickly focus on the information that matters most. Google Sheets is one of the most powerful free tools for organizing and analyzing data, whether you're managing a budget, tracking a project, or sorting through a long list of clients. If you find this tutorial helpful, please take a second to like and subscribe, and let's get started. First, we'll cover the basic filter. This is the foundational skill you'll use over and over, and it starts with selecting your data. You have two main options here. If you have a specific table or range that you want to filter, simply click and drag your mouse to highlight that exact area, making sure you include the header row at the top. The header row is the very first row with column titles like name, date, or amount. Google Sheets needs this to understand what each column represents. The second option is to click the empty grey box that sits above row 1 and to the left of column A. That small box selects your entire sheet in one click, which is perfect if your data runs across many rows or if you're not sure where the table ends. Either way, once your data is highlighted, you're ready for the next step. Now, go to the top menu and click Data. Then from the drop-down menu, choose Create a Filter. You'll notice that small green triangles appear around your selected range, and every header cell now shows a tiny upside-down pyramid icon, often called a filter icon. This icon is your gateway to customization. Go ahead and click that filter icon in any header cell, and a menu will pop up. This menu is split into two powerful sections, Filter by Values and Filter by Condition. Let's start with Filter by Values. This is the most intuitive way to filter. You'll see a list of every unique item in that column, each with a checkbox. By default, everything is checked, meaning all data is visible. To hide specific items, simply uncheck the boxes next to the values you want to remove from view. For example, if you have a column for status with entries like pending, complete, and cancelled, and you only want to see the complete ones, uncheck pending and cancelled, then click OK. Sheets instantly hides those rows, and the filter icon changes color to indicate that a filter is active. One common pitfall here is accidentally unchecking everything. If that happens, just click Select All at the top of the list to reset it. Now, let's move to Filter by Condition. This is where the real power lies. Instead of manually picking items, you can apply rules. Click Filter by Condition in that same menu, and you'll see a drop-down with options like Text Contains, Greater Than, Date is Before, and many more. For instance, if you're working with a list of sales figures and you only want to see amounts over 100, select Greater Than from the drop-down, then type 100 inches in the value box. Sheets will automatically hide any row where the number in that column is 100 or below. Similarly, if you're searching for a specific word or phrase in a text column, choose Text Contains and type the keyword. This is incredibly useful for filtering by names, product codes, or any partial match. The condition filters are far more flexible than value filters, especially when dealing with numbers or dates, so I encourage you to experiment with them. But what if you're working on a shared spreadsheet with colleagues, partners, or even just multiple tabs for different people? The basic filter I just showed you changes everyone's view. If you filter a column, anyone else looking at the sheet at the same time will see the same filtered data. That can cause confusion, especially if someone is trying to reference rows you've hidden. That's where filter views come to the rescue. Filter views allow you to create a personalized temporary filter that only you can see, without affecting anyone else's view of the spreadsheet. To create one, go back to the top menu, click Data, then hover over Filter Views and select Create New Filter View. You'll notice the screen changes. A dark grey bar appears at the top with a name like Filter View 1 inch and options to rename, save, or close it. You can immediately rename it to something descriptive like My Sales Filter or Q3 Review, so you can find it later. Once the filter view is active, apply your filters exactly as you did before. Click the filter icon in a header cell and choose your values or conditions. The difference is that these filters only exist within this view. Other users who open the sheet will see the unfiltered data, and they won't even know you've applied a filter unless they switch to your named view. The real magic of filter views is that they are saved automatically as you work. You can close the view by clicking the X in the dark grey bar, and it remains stored under Data Filter Views for future use. When you need it again, just click Data, hover over Filter Views, and select your saved view from the list. This is a game changer for collaborative projects, because you can have multiple views for different purposes. One that hides completed tasks for a project manager, another that shows only high-priority items for a team lead, all without touching the original data. One best practice I always recommend is to keep your raw data untouched in one tab and use filter views for analysis in a separate tab. That way, if you ever make a mistake or need to start fresh, your original dataset remains intact. Also, remember that filter views do not delete any data, they only temporarily hide rows. You can always remove your filter by clicking Data and then Remove Filter, or by closing the filter view. By now, you've successfully learned how to filter data in Google Sheets, from basic filtering to advanced collaboration-friendly filter views. This skill saves you time, reduces visual clutter, and helps you make sense of large datasets without altering the underlying information. As a next step, I encourage you to practice by creating a couple of different filter views for a real project you're working on. Try one by condition and one by values, and see how quickly you can switch between them. If you ever need to revisit these steps, feel free to save this video or bookmark the timestamp. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.